Well, for the past 2 weeks, it's been all about Antoine Semenyo because of how he has been so impressive in the English Premier League, how he has been so impressive for Bournemouth in the 2025-2026 season. So, because of his amazing performance, the likes of Manchester City, the likes of Liverpool, the likes of Manchester United, they've all expressed interest in the Ghanaian forward or striker. Now, the big question is among the three clubs, which of the clubs will best suit Antoine Semenyo? Among the three clubs, Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, which of the clubs would really help promote, develop Antoine Semenyo into that finished article or striker or forward that some of us are expecting to see? The next big thing in African football, the next finisher like Sadio Mane, the next finisher like Mohamed Salah, the next finisher like Didier Abestebili Druba, the next finisher like Samuel Eto'o, Emmanuel De Adebayos, and Charlie, something of that sort. Which of the three clubs? That is the discussion we are going to have on today's show. Do what subscribe to 7 Media Sports on YouTube for the best of sporting content. Now, for Antoine Semenyo, he's been that tremendous in the ongoing campaign for Bournemouth, and he has scored 8 Premier League goals with 3 assists. Quite solid as a forward because Semenyo is not an out and out striker. He's more of a forward, and usually he's not deployed as the target man or the main striker for Bournemouth. So don't be worried. Don't be worried at all. His numbers are not really impressive, and it is as a result of his position. So, as a typical striker, you cannot really judge him as a typical striker. And if care is not taken, like what I just said, his numbers are not really impressive. But that is not the entire truth in his story because Semenyo is a forward and he is often deployed on either the right wing or the left wing, specifically more of left wing. That is why I'll be very charitable when it comes to analyzing Antoine Semenyo because he's not a typical striker. He is a forward and he's not the main outlet for goals for Bournemouth. What is expected of him is that he has to contribute in the attacking third and defensively he has to also put in effort. So you see Semenyo scoring, you will see him giving assists, and defensively his work rate is up there. So for those saying that, oh, Charlie, you look at his numbers, not really impressive, and he's a striker. No, Semenyo is not an out and out striker. He is a forward. So let's get the understanding on that bit. Now, before Semenyo scored against Manchester United, that was last week. Before he scored against, I think he also scored against Burnley this weekend. Semenyo played 8 matches without scoring. Yeah, in the English Premier League. 8 consecutive matches without scoring. Now, there was no pressure on Antoine Semenyo. If I say there was no pressure on Semenyo, what I'm trying to establish is that he was not really in the media spotlight. The discussion was not about Semenyo having that goal drought. The major tabloids did not really have their take on Antoine Semenyo because Semenyo plays for Bournemouth, for Christ's sake, with no disrespect to Bournemouth. But because he plays for Bournemouth, that is why that pressure was not really given to Antoine Semenyo. If it was the other way around, assuming Semenyo plays for Manchester City, Chelsea, or Liverpool, or Manchester United, any of the big clubs, the narrative would have been different. You cannot play for Chelsea, Man United, Manchester City, or Liverpool, and you'll be involved in 8 consecutive matches, and there will be no goal. The kind of pressure you are going to feel, the kind of destructive criticism that will come your way, it will be so difficult for you to handle. So he has that luxury of escaping pressure playing for Bournemouth. It doesn't take anything away from his good performance this season. What I'm trying to let you know is that the pressure that comes with playing for Man United, Liverpool, and Man City is way different from the pressure that comes with you playing for Bournemouth. So, among the 3 clubs, I will skip Man United because they are still struggling. They've not really rediscovered that old Manchester United we all knew way back. And they've been that inconsistent. For you to play for Manchester United, the United in that state of being overly inconsistent, you need to have that strength, your mindset, and you are not going to escape pressure. So I'll skip Man United. Now we move on to Liverpool. Now looking at the forward line of Liverpool, you would have to compete for a spot in the attacking line. And the competition is that huge. Ekitike himself is in there. Mohamed Salah is in there. Alexander Isak. Cody Gakpo, who is probably the favorite of Coach Slot. So if Semenyo wants to be a squad player where you will comfortably be on the bench or you will not be playing matches regularly, he can really fit in at Liverpool. But I do not think Semenyo wants to be a squad player. No. I think he has that ambition. He has that vision to really refine his craft as a footballer, grow, get that projection, and one day compete even as the African best player. So I do not think he will really settle for less at Liverpool as a squad player. Now, same thing with Manchester City. For Manchester City, the competition in their forward line is very similar to Liverpool's situation. So if Semenyo wants to join Manchester City, same thing applies to Antoine Semenyo. It will be more of him playing as a squad player. Because the Pep Guardiola Isola that I know will not just give you a spot in a starting 11. You need to prove a point. You need to justify. And you need to have that strength, that strong mindset. There are days you'll be on the bench. Look at what he did with Raheem Sterling and Riyad Mahrez. Phil Foden at a point in time was nowhere to be found in the starting 11. Same applies to Bernardo Silva. It takes a lot for you to feature in the starting 11 of those 3 teams, especially Liverpool and Manchester City. That is why some of us always salute Michael Essien, because that Chelsea of old had quality. Frank Lampard in midfield, Michael Ballack in midfield, Claude McLeary, Ida Good Johnson, and Essien was in there. always a regular in the Chelsea starting 11. So I will bypass the three clubs. Don't ask me why I'm doing this. But I want the best for Antoine Semenyo. I really want the best for the Ghanaian. So I'll skip the three clubs and I'll go in for Aston Villa. They've been very competitive for the past 3 seasons under Unai Emery. They've been that consistent in the UEFA Champions League. Though they did not start the season very well, but they've really picked up the pieces and they are doing very well. For Aston Villa, the atmosphere is not way too different from the kind of atmosphere at Bournemouth in terms of the club size, in terms of the magnitude of the clubs compared to Liverpool, Man City, Man United, with all things being equal. So for Aston Villa, there is that room for you to grow as a player. Though playing for Aston Villa also comes with pressure, but that pressure cannot be compared with playing for Man City, Liverpool, or Manchester United. There is that room for you to grow, for you to develop as a player. And we all know Unai Emery, his track record. Though he's a tactician, he's also a developer. So I'll settle for Aston Villa. Aston Villa on any day. And even with Aston Villa, Semenyo has really put in hard work. He has to grow tough. His mentality should be super. Now at Bournemouth, he can opt to stay at Bournemouth for the next season, have double digits in terms of goals, and move on to join Aston Villa. He needs to really take his time. In no time, the World Cup will be in session, assuming he goes in there and there is fireworks. He's able to deliver the World Cup. That will also add up and increase his value as a player. So probably after the World Cup or during next season will do. And there is a reason why I made that, or I laid emphasis on Semenyo being ready to grow, having that strong mindset as a player, and taking his time. Because we've seen some Ghanaian players make a move in the English Premier League and it didn't end well. Either you moved from Swansea to West Ham, his junior brother, Jordan Ayew, moved from Swansea to Aston Villa. It did not really work. And we have Kudus moving from West Ham to Tottenham. And we've seen a different Mohamed Kudus at Tottenham. He's more of a creator now. He's not really scoring the goals that will put him in the spotlight. More of a team player, more of a creator. So for me, Aston Villa would do for Antoine Semenyo. I would like to hear from you in the comment section. The club that will best suit Antoine Semenyo. Let me hear from you in the comment section. And you can go ahead and pick or have your pick or say on the three clubs: Man United, Liverpool, Man City. Now let me add Aston Villa. Do well to subscribe to this channel on YouTube for the best of sporting content. Have a wonderful day.